Reverse Nordic curls aren't just some trendy exercise influencers do. They're one of the few movements that can completely transform how your body looks and feels. Most people only expect one thing from this exercise, but I'm going to show you what really happens to your body when you start doing it consistently. The first thing that changes: your quads. This one may seem obvious, but you're going to want to hear why you need to keep up with your quad strength. It's not just about building bigger legs. Studies show quad strength is directly linked to knee health and injury prevention throughout your entire life. Stronger quads often mean better function and less chance of chronic knee pain as you age. You can actually measure how much your knee stability has improved by testing how far back you can lean with control. You'll be surprised how quickly your quads adapt, even with just body weight and controlled movement. This is one of the easiest ways to build eccentric quad strength without overcomplicating anything. Most people start with small ranges and build up naturally. Reverse Nordics light up your rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and all the stabilizing muscles around your knee that help you actually control movement in daily life. You know that person who can walk downstairs without holding the railing and never worries about their knees giving out? That's reverse Nordic energy. What feels simple at first quietly sets off a chain reaction, and you'll see one of the biggest shifts that your body will have later on in the video. But have you ever noticed how many people move like their knees are made of glass? Ever seen someone who takes stairs one at a time, holding the railing like their life depends on it? That's not just old age. That's years of weak quads and neglected eccentric strength. Reverse Nordic, reverse that. To perform it correctly, your quads have to control your body as you lean backward against gravity. That constant eccentric tension retrains your muscles to handle lengthened positions under load, which is exactly what protects your knees during activities like walking downhill, descending stairs, or slowing down from a run. Your knee joint also gets stabilization from all angles, building real resilience in an area that breaks down fast if neglected. This builds bulletproof knees in a way that traditional leg exercises simply cannot match. If you've ever had knee issues or felt that creaky sensation when you squat down, this exercise becomes free physical therapy disguised as strength training. After a few weeks, you'll catch yourself walking downstairs confidently, moving with more control and trusting your knees without thinking about it. And once your knee stability starts locking in on autopilot, something else clicks into place. Your hip flexors start working in a whole new way. Forget leg raises and sit-ups. Reverse Nordics build the kind of hip flexor strength that keeps your pelvis stable, improves your posture, and makes movements like getting up from the floor feel effortless. Because the moment you start leaning backward in that kneeling position, your hip flexors have to fire hard to keep your torso and thighs in a straight line. Your rectus femoris, which crosses both your hip and knee, works overtime to maintain that rigid body position. These aren't just muscles that lift your leg. These are the muscles that stabilize your pelvis when you walk, support your lower back during daily activities, and help you maintain proper alignment under load. It also activates the muscles most people never think about, like the tensor fasciae latae and the deep hip stabilizers that support your spine and help you move efficiently without compensation patterns. This isn't about isolating one muscle, it's about building natural stability you'll feel every time you stand up, walk, or change direction. And when that stability becomes second nature, it unlocks something everybody is chasing after in fitness. Real functional strength that shows up when you need it most. At first, it doesn't seem like much. You're just kneeling and leaning back, right? But give it a few days and your muscles will let you know exactly how much work just happened. The best part? It's the kind of soreness that tells you something real is changing. It's deceptively simple, but it builds eccentric strength through a massive range of motion. Your quads are lengthening under tension, which research shows produces significantly more muscle growth than concentric-only training. Some studies show up to 50% more growth from emphasizing the eccentric portion of exercises. The reverse Nordic creates this stimulus naturally because gravity is constantly trying to pull you backward, and your quads have to fight that pull for every second of the movement. And because it's so scalable, you can start with small ranges and build up gradually. Go deeper as you get stronger, or add variations like tempo control or pauses to increase the challenge. This is one of those rare exercises where the progression is built right into the movement pattern. Now, before we move on to the fifth benefit that everyone will love, I want to let you know that reverse Nordics are powerful, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. If you're dealing with chronic back pain, stiff joints, or constant aches that make daily activities harder than they should be, I created something specifically for you. It's called Reboot Your Body, a simple step-by-step program that shows you exactly how to move pain-free again so you can get down on the floor with your kids or grandkids, get up without wincing, and actually enjoy being active. The link is in the description below if you want to check it out. But anyways, the reverse Nordic is like a knee insurance policy that pays dividends for decades. They strengthen the exact movement pattern that protects your knees from injury. Most knee injuries happen during deceleration when your quad has to eccentrically control your leg as it lengthens. Think about running downhill, landing from a jump, or quickly stopping your forward momentum. Your quad is working eccentrically in all those scenarios. Traditional exercises like leg extensions train your quads concentrically when they're shortening. But that's not when injuries typically occur. Reverse Nordics specifically build eccentric strength, which is your body's natural braking system. This is injury prevention at its finest. You're not just getting stronger, you're building the exact type of strength that keeps your knees healthy during the movements that typically cause problems. And because it builds strength and protects your joints at the same time, it's one of the most efficient tools you can use, especially if you want to stay active and pain-free as you age. Research consistently shows that eccentric training reduces injury rates, particularly for the quadriceps and patellar tendon. Athletes who include eccentric exercises like reverse Nordics have significantly fewer knee injuries than those who don't. In just a minute, I'm going to show you the top 3 common mistakes you'll want to avoid to get the most out of this exercise. But first, I want to touch on something important that goes beyond just your knees. Your posture and spinal alignment get a massive enhancement from reverse Nordics. Maintaining that straight body position from your knees through your hips to your head requires incredible core control and postural awareness. Every inch you lean backward forces you to engage your abs, glutes, and lower back to prevent your hips from sagging or your back from arching. Your entire posterior chain constantly communicates, fine-tuning your alignment with every second you hold that position. This trains your nervous system to maintain proper spinal positioning under load. Your core learns to stabilize against extension forces, which is exactly what protects your lower back during everyday activities. Over time, this adds up to better posture throughout your day, reduced lower back pain, and a body that naturally maintains proper alignment without conscious effort. Your balance and body control improve dramatically as well. Reverse Nordics challenge your proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space. Every rep forces you to control your center of mass as it shifts backward, requiring constant micro-adjustments from your ankles, knees, hips, and core. This develops a level of body awareness and control that carries over into virtually every physical activity you do. There's something about controlling your body weight through a challenging range of motion that makes everything else feel easier. You're not thinking about your phone or your to-do list. You're locked in, breathing, bracing, inch by inch. Reverse Nordics demand presence. You can't check out or go through the motions, and when your quads are burning, your hips are shaking, and your mind is screaming to give up, but you hold position for 5 more seconds anyway, that's mental toughness. That's the kind of grit that carries over to everything else in life. This isn't just physical training, it's mindset training. You're learning to stay calm under stress, to push through discomfort, to maintain control when everything in your body wants to collapse. And this might be my favorite benefit from the list. Reverse Nordics teach you that you're capable of more than you think. That initial range that felt impossible, give it a few weeks and you'll be leaning back twice as far with complete control. That progression builds confidence that extends far beyond the gym. Once you build that resilience, both physical and mental, nothing else feels quite as intimidating. A few common mistakes can take away from the benefits of the reverse Nordic, but they're easy to fix once you know what to look for. So here are the top 3 mistakes people make. First, avoid letting your hips bend or your butt push backward. This completely defeats the purpose because it turns the exercise into a hip hinge instead of a quad dominant movement. The goal is to maintain a perfectly straight line from your knees through your hips to your head. Think about keeping your hips pushed forward throughout the entire movement, like you're standing tall even though you're kneeling. If your hips break, you're no longer loading your quads properly and you're missing out on the main benefit. Another issue is leaning back too far too soon. Your ego wants you to go all the way down on day 1, but that's how you either fall on your back or develop bad form habits. Start with small ranges of motion, maybe just a few inches of lean at first. Control is everything with this exercise. The more deliberate your descent and the more tension you maintain in your quads, the more benefit you'll get. Progress the range gradually over weeks, not during a single workout. And third, don't forget about your glutes and core. If you're not actively squeezing your glutes and bracing your abs, your lower back will arch excessively to compensate. This not only reduces the effectiveness for your quads, but also puts unnecessary stress on your spine. Before you even start leaning back, squeeze your glutes hard like you're trying to crack a walnut between your cheeks. Then brace your core like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. Maintain that tension throughout the entire rep. Now you're probably wondering, all right, all this sounds good, but how do I actually program this into my workouts? Don't worry, I got you covered. If you're just starting out, aim for 2 to 3 sets of 5 reps each. Focusing on a small range of motion, maybe just leaning back 6 to 12 inches. Use a controlled tempo, taking 3 to 5 seconds to lower yourself, then use your hands to push yourself back up to the starting position. Make sure to rest for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes between each set, because this exercise is more demanding than it looks. Once you feel more comfortable and can control that range easily, you can bump things up to 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Go a little deeper with each rep, maybe leaning back to where your torso is at a 45-degree angle from vertical. Still use your hands to assist the return, but try to do a bit more work with your quads on the way back up. Rest around 2 minutes between sets to maintain quality movement. As you get really strong, the goal is to eventually lean all the way back until your shoulders are close to your heels. Then pull yourself back up using only your quad strength, without any hand assistance. But this level of control can take months to achieve, and that's completely normal. The progression itself is the benefit. Every week that you can lean back a little further or use your hands a little less is proof that your body is getting stronger and more capable. You can also add tempo variations once you've built a solid foundation. Try holding the bottom position for 3 to 5 seconds before coming back up. This isometric hold at the lengthened position creates incredible muscle tension and accelerates strength gains. Or try a slow eccentric, where you take 8 to 10 seconds to lower yourself down. This extended time under tension is one of the most effective ways to build muscle and strength. For people who are already strong and want an extra challenge, you can hold a weight plate against your chest while performing the movement. Start with just 5 or 10 pounds and focus on maintaining perfect form. The added load makes the exercise significantly more challenging without requiring you to lean back as far, which can be useful if you're limited by flexibility or space. Another advanced variation is the single leg reverse Nordic, where you perform the movement with one leg extended forward off the ground while the other leg does all the work. This is extremely difficult and should only be attempted after you've mastered the bilateral version with full range of motion, but it builds incredible single leg strength and exposes any imbalances between your legs. The beauty of reverse Nordics is that they fit into almost any training program. You can do them at the beginning of your workout after a proper warm-up to build strength when you're fresh. You can do them in the middle of your session as part of a lower body circuit, or you can do them at the end as a finishing exercise to completely fatigue your quads. They work well 2 to 3 times per week, though you may need to reduce frequency if you're also doing heavy squatting or other quad-intensive exercises. One thing you'll notice pretty quickly is that reverse Nordics create delayed onset muscle soreness. Like few other exercises, don't be surprised if your quads are significantly sore for a few days after your first few sessions. This is completely normal and a sign that you're creating a training stimulus your body isn't used to. The soreness will decrease as your body adapts, typically within 3 to 4 weeks of consistent training. Recovery is important with this exercise because of the high eccentric demand. Make sure you're getting adequate protein, at least 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight daily to support muscle repair and growth. Stay hydrated and prioritize sleep, as these factors significantly impact your recovery and ability to progress. If you're feeling unusually sore or your form is breaking down, don't hesitate to take an extra day of rest. Consistency over months matters more than pushing through when you're not recovered. The long-term benefits of reverse Nordics compound over time in ways that are hard to overstate. You're not just building stronger quads, you're protecting your knees from the wear and tear that typically accumulates with age. You're improving your ability to control your body through challenging ranges of motion. You're developing mental toughness and confidence. You're building functional strength that shows up in every physical activity you do. This is the kind of exercise that pays dividends for decades. The person who consistently does reverse Nordics in their 40s and 50s is the person who's still hiking, playing with grandkids on the floor, and moving confidently in their 70s and 80s. That's not an exaggeration. The research on eccentric strength training and longevity is crystal clear. People who maintain eccentric strength maintain their independence and quality of life far longer than those who don't. So if you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Reverse Nordics are one of the highest return exercises you can possibly do. They require no equipment beyond a pad for your knees. They take less than 10 minutes to perform, and they build strength and resilience that protects you for life. That's an investment worth making. Be sure to share this video with a friend who you think needs to hear this.